Greetings, African people. On this Journey to Freedom series, today we're going to talk about the power of silence. African people know all too well the path of being silenced, but what we need to learn now is how to use that scourge, take it back to empower ourselves. So, as you know, there's a big difference with being silenced and being silent. And if I go back to history and look at the Japanese people, they have been masters at using silence. And not just the Japanese people, Asian people on a whole are very good at maintaining a kind of silence that is a form of resistance. And we could benefit from doing this too. Now, silence was used in Japan, and I'm not going into any details and historical detail, but silence was used as a form of resistance. And to this very day, the Japanese people know very well how to strategically place themselves in positions where they can be competitive without seeming like a kind of threat. Chinese have been able to do that as well, and Black people could benefit from doing that. So when we talk about silence here today, a lot of people being silent, a lot of people see that as weakness, as, you know, insecurity or lack of confidence. But because we are so flamboyant as, you know, Black people, because we are the kind of persons who, you know, like to be seen and heard, we find ourselves in the position that we're in, telling everything, showing everything, which end up costing us so much. And now we have to roll that back. So let me give you an example. You've got some plans for your life, for your future. And before you even materialize these plans, before you're able to gather the tools necessary to carry out this plan, everybody knows about it. Now, some of us need approval. You know, there are times when I have ideas and I want to run it by somebody. But I've learned over the years that you have to be very careful about who you reveal these plans to. Some persons might actually be able to carry these plans out faster than you, and they're happy for these. Sometimes when individuals reveal their secrets to others and they run with it, you feel offended, but these are lessons that we have to learn. And so those who are powerful in the world, who are masters at, you know, creating wealth, we feel resentful towards some of these individuals, saying that they're stealing our things. They're, you know, all kind of jargons that are used these days to say people are stealing what is ours. But how could they steal what is ours if we did not protect it? So now we have to be like individuals who ask these open-ended questions to hear what you think. And I, for one, can say that I'm also learning that it's not everything that comes to your mind that you have to speak, whether good or bad. This is an art. You would think that when you're angry, you just say what you're feeling, just explain, but that leaves you very vulnerable. Sometimes it's better to hold your tongue and let somebody wonder what that mystery is about. It's better to be an enigmatic person than be a person who just spill everything. Nobody really respects somebody who reveal all their truth. So I'm saying, when you ask people when people ask you open-ended questions, most of the time they want to really hear your truth. They want to know what's in your mind. So they're not giving you a chance to say yes or no. They want to get deeper to understand you. You might say something that seems vague, and they ask an open-ended question because they want to hold you to that thing. Sometimes it's good to play the fool. Even when you know you're smarter than those who are around you, who are provoking you with these open-ended questions to cause you to unleash your tongue. Now, let's talk about how we are in our community, and not just in our community, but in general. When we talk about social appearances, please understand that that's the tool that we often use to measure somebody's worth. There's no point in us debating this. Most people are very shallow. And before anybody hear you speak, they often judge you based on how you look. The ones, however, who are skilled in sales know that words can change perception. So even when you put yourself out there and they look at you and they judge you or determine who you are based on how you look, you can still change that. And this is why words are very powerful, and that we have to be very careful about how we share our ideas, share our every thought. The less you say sometimes, not only do you become more enigmatic, but you command more respect, as I said earlier, and at least some curiosity. We talk too much, we reveal too much of ourselves. Please remember that the probing eye needs the ear to assist it in gathering information. So it's not just what you see. If you see a elegant woman and you see her appearance, you start to assume that she's wealthy, that she's well positioned, that she's well spoken, until she opens her mouth. So the eyes are important, but what is more important is the ears. And some people are skilled in listening very well. Sometimes like a chameleon, that individual will sit in your midst, there to gather information, but pretending that they're interested in you for other reasons. That's why we have to be careful. Your strength, therefore, must come from knowing what to share and how much to share. So I have shared a lot about myself in the process of gaining some type of healing for myself. But I've always been aware of what I can share, how comfortable I was in sharing those things, and what's the benefit of doing that. So by controlling some of what you say, what you wish to reveal about yourself or your plans is necessary in you obtaining power. The more you tell people about yourself, the less powerful it is, because now individuals know where to target, where your strong points are, what your weaknesses are.